Namaste. Welcome to this episode of the Bhagavad Gita series from the Immortal India podcast with my sister Bhavna Didi and me, Amish. Today we are going to be discussing two shlokas actually from chapter 1, verse 7 and verse 8. This actually is a way to discuss loyalties, we think, these two shlokas. So, chapter 1, verse 7, Asmakam tu vishishthaye tanne bodha dvijotama nayaka mama sainyasya sanjanartham tan bravimi te. Chapter 1, verse 8, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayah Ashwathamaha Vikarnascha Somadattis Tathaivacha.
So, verse 7, and this is spoken by Duryodhana at the beginning of the battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
It did not say Duryodhana Uvach though. But yes, this is it does says thus spake Duryodhana. So sorry, go ahead.
So, O Dronacharya, here too about the heroes on our side who are specially to lead. These I now recount to you. And then verse 8 may, Duryodhana continues, there are notables like yourself, Dronacharya ji, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and Bhurishrav, who are ever victorious in battle.
There's an interesting name in this list, right? That's worth discussing. Vikarna. He doesn't mention his other real brothers. He doesn't even mention Dushasan, who was always loyal to Duryodhana. He mentions Vikarna. How many of you are aware of who Vikarna was? Was he there in the Mahabharata television serial? I don't recall him.
Good question. I don't remember. I think Vikarna should be there in the Mahabharata to be researched.
No, in the television serial.
I know. You know why? Because Vikarna played a very important role in the vastraharan, chirharan scene
Because
of
he
Draupadi Ma.
correct.
You know?
Because he
तो होना तो
criticized.
चाहिए, but I don't remember.
But I don't remember him being there in the television serial.
Yeah.
But he was obviously there in the text. And Vikarna was a very interesting character. He criticized Duryodhana many times, including in the Draupadi Vastraharan episode, where he says this is wrong and he criticizes everyone who's taking part in that crime. And yet, he still fights on the side of the Kauravas.
Yes.
And very interestingly, Duryodhana does not mention the names of those of his brothers who are loyal to him, including Dushasan, who never questioned him, who actually did the Chirharan himself, but he includes Vikarna in the list of great generals. What do you make of it?
The only brother he chooses to mention in this list of his greatest warriors is the one who was his truth teller.
Correct. Who kept criticizing him.
हाँ वो बोलता गया कि ये गलत है वो गलत है तुम ये गलत कर रहे हो तुम ये गलत कर रहे हो मतलब Duryodhana's antaratma always knew what was wrong and what was right. The antaratma knew, but his karni and his shabd never matched.
कथनी और करनी में फर्क.
कथनी और करनी दोनों गलत.
Actually, sorry, you're right.
कथनी करनी दोनों गलत.
जाननी कथनी करनी. Okay, sorry. Bad joke. Sorry. Okay, coming back. हाँ.
Antaratma. Right? Antaratma knew always, which is why, interestingly, his name was also Suyodhana.
Yeah.
Su is good.
Yeah.
Dur is bad.
Yeah.
Yodhan comes from Yodha, warrior. So he also was the good warrior on the field of not only Kurukshetra but more importantly Dharmakshetra.
Correct.
Which is why his death is so magnificent.
Yeah.
As Bhasa relates in Urubhanga.
In the Urubhanga. Those who haven't read the Urubhanga play, it's a brilliant Sanskrit play written by this playwright called Bhasa. In the modern day, we believe that Kalidasa was the greatest Sanskrit playwright ever, but Kalidasa himself believed, and he'd written in his plays, that the greatest Sanskrit playwright ever was Bhasa. And Bhasa had written this play, Urubhanga, which literally means broken thigh, shattered thigh. And it was on the death of Duryodhana. But Duryodhana is also called Suyodhana at times in the Mahabharata. And that was his opportunity. And he had knowledge, but he never acted on it. It's a lot like, have you seen that movie, Scent of a Woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the first time I'd seen the movie, I couldn't make head or tail of what was going on in that movie till that final speech. And then I realized the entire point of that movie was to build up to that final speech. And the colonel, I'm forgetting his name, Al Pacino played that character. He says that he always knew what the right path was. He just could never take that path because it was too damn hard. Was Duryodhana also like that? That he knew what dharma was because he chose Vikarna, someone who was his truth teller. If you don't know what dharma is, then you don't like those who tell you the truth. You hate them. Who are you? Who are you to tell me this? But Duryodhana knew what the truth was. He just never acted on it. Much like the colonel in Scent of a Woman.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Probably, which is why the one who died on the battlefield was not Duryodhan so much as Suyodhan, because Suyodhan reached heaven.
Suyodhana reached heaven. Whereas Dushasan could, at least from all evidence that one can see, he could never act dharmic because it almost appeared like he didn't even know what dharma was. Right?
True. But coming back to Vikarna, because he's the brother that Duryodhan chose. And at the start of the battle, it was certainly Duryodhan with a little bit of Suyodhan within him because he named Vikarna.
It was, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
A well hidden Suyodhana.
yeah, Vikarna was the loyal brother, but so was Karna. So what is the difference between Karna and Vikarna?
Yeah, both Vikarna and Karna were, and interestingly, very similar names. Both Karna and Vikarna were loyal, but Karna's loyalty was blind loyalty. He's my friend, I won't even see the bad that he's doing. He's my friend, he stood up for me when I needed it, I will be completely loyal to him. That was Karna's attitude. Whereas Vikarna's attitude was, you are doing adharma, I will point it out to you, I will tell you the truth, and I hope you will listen, but if you don't, I will still be on your side. In a way, a lot like Kumbhakarna.
Yeah.
Not just in my book series, not just in the Ramchandra series, but even in the original Ramayana, Kumbhakarna always told the truth to Ravan. But unlike Vibhishan, who went to the other side, Kumbhakarna said, even if I die, I will be on your side because you're my brother. And Vikarna was
My dharma
sort of like that. Because it's my dharma to be loyal to you,
is to stand
even if
beside
you are
you.
adharmic.
is to stand beside you.
In that sense, would you say Vikarna's loyalty was perhaps a little more, I don't know, noble loyalty has a very loaded term, but it was, Vikarna's loyalty was dharmic loyalty, whereas Karna's loyalty was blind loyalty.
Mindful.
Yeah,
it was mindful.
Mindful.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I know there will be consequences to what I'm doing, but this is my
But this is my dharma.
yeah, I stand beside my elder brother.
And therefore, Vikarna dies at the end. There are consequences that he faces because of his actions,
Yeah.
but he still does it because that's his loyalty to his elder brother. But that doesn't stop him from pointing out to his elder brother where he was wrong, whereas Karna does not point out to his friend Duryodhana where he was wrong.
And his death was magnificent.
Yeah.
So he was, the final battle was with Bheem, the Pandav.
Yeah, it's a very sad
And, while Bheem is killing Vikarna, he's crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crying and he's mindful.
Yeah,
and he's thinking of
that Vikarna actually tried to protect Draupadi.
Yeah.
That he,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even as he's killing him, he's saying, "You should have been on our side." And Vikarna says, "That was my duty then."
This is my duty now.
I'm sorry, this really moves me.
It's magnificent. It is magnificent.
Yeah,
It is
heartful
magnificent.
valor.
Yeah.
Heartful.
Yeah.
Valor.
And Bhima, in fact, if I remember correctly, tells him also, stop fighting, and I will spare your life. And
And he
Vikarna
says,
says, it's my dharma to fight, so I will fight.
yeah. And some versions of the Mahabharata say that Vikarna said that, my Kriyakaram should be done, my last rites should be done by Bheem.
There were heroes on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is what makes Vikarna's loyalty, I think, in some ways, far more magnificent than Karna's loyalty. Karna was magnificent in his own ways, but his loyalty, blind loyalty, was perhaps one of his faults. Yeah.
So Vikarna is like Kumbhakarna.
Vikarna is like Kumbhakarna, and I wonder if Vikarna, because Karna is, years, and Vikarna, so
Is without ears.
Yeah.
You're right.
Ah.
You're right. So Karn is ears and Vikarn is without ears because Vikarn wouldn't listen to what is being told to him because he would exercise.
He would
his
do
own
what he
mind.
thinks is right.
Yes.
No, sir. He would say what he thinks is right, but he would still do what he had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that brings us to the end of this episode of the Bhagavad Gita series. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe below so that you'll receive notifications for the next episode from the Bhagavad Gita series. From Bhavna Didi and me, thank you very much. Namaste. Jai Shri Krishna.